What's going on? What's going on, my Beyond the Road family? Did you miss me? Listen, I missed you, and it's time to talk. It's been a while, and I had some things going on, y'all. I had some things going on, but I'm back, and we got a lot to talk about. So come on, let somebody know that it's time, it's going down. Listen, tonight we gonna talk about some things. I got a question. Do you trust me? Yeah, look at that. Look at that. What do that say? Honesty, respect, loyalty, belief. Do you trust me? Look at that. Think about that. What that's saying to you? Do you trust me? All right, listen. We need to talk. We need to talk. We need to talk. So listen, those of you who are tuning in, it's been a while. I know it's been a while. I done been through some stuff. Y'all don't even know I've been through some stuff, y'all. But I'm back. So come on, do me a favor. Love this and share this. Love this and share this so they can know that Doc is back on. And we got some things to talk about. So love it and share it. And let's jump into this thing tonight. So we've had some pretty dope conversation pieces thus far. And tonight we're going to talk about trust. We're going to talk about relationship trust, family trust, so much. And I think trust is definitely something that we lack nowadays. So for those of you who are watching for the first time and don't know who I am Doc, Pastor D, Dantes, whatever you want to call me. I am your host of Beyond the Road podcast. You can go and follow me on IG at _Beyond the Road. You can subscribe to my YouTube page, Beyond the Road podcast, or you can just follow me on Facebook. Beyond the Robe is a podcast that I started. It's a jumpstart of a book that I am writing about myself, and I think it's just a very important podcast because we need to talk about things that we just don't talk about. We kind of shun from in our lives. So let's go. Let's get in there. Do you trust me? Trust is tricky. Trust is tricky. Many of you are in relationships or seeking relationships and just getting out of relationships. And it's hard, right? It's hard, especially when you've been hurt, especially when you've been violated. Trust is one of those things that most of us would say we have to build. You have to build trust. You got to get to a point where you can trust a person. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of us are not trusting people. We feel that we are trustworthy, but we aren't really trusting people. And there's a reason behind that. Why? Why is it that we don't trust? Why is it that we don't trust? Why is it that we get to a place where we are shut off? We shut people off. And I think truly it's just because of experiences. Experiences have caused us to shut off from the world, to not trust. And it's not a healthy thing. So I want to pose a question tonight. Those of you who are watching, let me ask you, have you ever been there where you were in a relationship of some sort, or you have been a person that don't really trust many people? I have so many people who say, yeah, I'm just not a trusting person, and people have to build their trust, and they go through all of these things. So my question tonight is, have you been there? Have you been there where you've been hurt, and for whatever reason, you have a guard up? You don't really trust people, and it has affected your personal life. Is that you? Have you been there? If you're watching, Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Have you been there? Just say in the comments, I've been there. I've been that person where because of what I've been through, because of what I've experienced, it was hard for me to trust. Maybe you was once a trusting person and you really put your trust in people. And after hurt or whatever it is you have been through, you have now found this wall that have been built. There's so many people, loving people that I know, will give you the shirt off their back, but because of what they've experienced in life, they don't trust you. Y'all know the saying we used to say, right? I don't trust you no further than I can throw you. Y'all remember that? I don't trust you no further than I can throw you. Why are we like that? Why are we like that? Why are we such a people that it doesn't matter what or who you are, we're not trust. We just don't trust. Come on, let's talk about it. Let's get in the comments. Let's talk about it. Have you been there? Are you one of those people who say, yeah, no, I'm just not really trusting people nowadays. I'm cool. Come on, let's talk about it. I see some people in there. I see my mom. I see Eloise, April, Tanisha, my sister. Holla at me, baby. I love you. It's been a very long time. I see some people on there. Let's talk. Let's talk about it. Are you a trustworthy person? Do you trust people? Let's talk about it. Have you been hurt before? If you've been that person, look at this. Let's look at this. Let's see what all is in here when we talk about trust, honesty, respect, loyalty. Is that you? Look at those things. Can you relate? Come on, talk to me in these comments. Can you relate? I see a few people on, but y'all ain't saying nothing to me. Come on. Love and share. Love and share. Love and share. Look at some of those things. Have you been there? So let's take it. Let's take it there. I feel that I have always been a pretty trusting person. I trust people. I have it honest. I have a heart for people. I love people. It's no secret that I'm a pastor. Most people that I talk to who know me, they be like, yeah, that makes sense. Yep, you being a pastor, it makes sense because you always had a love for people. And because of experiences and things that I went through, I have a hard time trusting people. My cousin is on G Spitter. He knows what I've experienced in my life from a little child all the way up through my divorce. Loving folk, right? Loving folk. Family, friends, people you thought had your back. I want y'all to look at this. Look at this. I'm going to put it up here because it speaks truth. Like this look at all of those things that represent trust. It speaks truth. Loyalty. That's a big one. Just common respect. Listen, I think what has happened in the world is that most of us have gotten burned so bad, we just don't trust nobody. We don't trust nobody. We were built. We were built to make people earn your trust and your respect. It wasn't something that was just kind of given, right? Why are we like that? April says, I've been hurt, but I still have no problem trusting people. Okay. I got some people who are kind of commenting in my text messages, and someone replied and said, I don't trust no one. I don't trust no one. And that's real though, right? That's real. I'll share a story with you. As most of you know, I was molested as a child. I was violated, and it was horrible. It was painful. And it caused me not to trust not just anyone, but specifically men. Didn't trust men. I don't care who you was, father, brother, cousin, pastor. Didn't trust men. So it went beyond me not just trusting men, but watch this. It spilled over into my parenting because I don't trust anyone taking my son to the bathroom. You can't. I don't care who you are. And when my son was younger, no. If I'm busy, he have to use the bathroom. I'm stopping what I'm doing because nobody can take you to the bathroom to use the bathroom. It's not happening. It's not happening. Even my daughter, as she grow up and at such a young age, starting to develop, y'all. I mean, 9 years old, 8 years old. And already are in brawls, and I'm like, what is going on? You know, doing the edges and the lip gloss and the nails, and it's like, I don't trust nope. You ain't spend the night over nobody's house. You don't sit on no man's lap. We just got to a point where we don't trust people, right? I mean, that's just respect. It's honesty. We don't trust people, right? So for me. And then we're going to get into some comments, and I'm going to let y'all give me your insight. I've learned that usually the people that hurt you more and betray your trust are the ones that's closest to you. I got a question. For y'all tonight. Y'all help me out with this. Have you ever trusted someone? With something so dear, and not only did they violate your trust, but they drug it? That's the very thing you trusted them with. They drug it and made a mockery out of it. Have you been there? Let's get into some comments. Because I've been there. Let's see. All right. Keisha said they take your kindness for weakness, and you can't. Yeah. You try to give people the benefit of the doubt and still can't trust them. Absolutely. Miss Fernandez, my girl, she said, I was hurt so bad, that's why it's hard for me to trust again. I understand. Whoa, wait a minute. One of my kids on here. I trust you, Daddy, but I have Nana phone. Log off right now. Log off right now. Somebody, listen. Somebody call my mama and tell her that I am shooting my podcast and one of them kids got my phone. They do not need to look at this episode. Nope, log off right now. I love you too. Go watch something else, but you're not watching Daddy's podcast, all right? Not gonna happen. All right, come on. So here's what I've experienced. As most of you know, I was married at a young age. And the woman that I married, I mean, you all know her. Ain't no secret who she is. But we end up getting a divorce. And what amazed me the most is that people who I thought were my friend. See, trust go deeper. A lot of times when people hear the word trust, the first thing they do is they think about a relationship, right? With the individual that you're romantic in. It's deeper than just a relationship. You got so many different people that you trust and so many different levels. Check this out. It was people who I considered were brothers, preachers, associates, friends who I have spoke well of, who ate at my table, who came and sat in my office and cried with me only to find out those same people were in her inbox trying to talk to her after we got a divorce. Yeah. Those same people who I was, calling my brother and sharing my heart with and thought these were my prayer partners. These are the same people who was right in her DMs. Right in her DMs. And it goes even deeper, because not only did you deal with that kind of trust, but you dealt with the trust of, I trusted that the things that I shared with you, the things that we experienced in a marriage, even if the marriage was over, certain things should be kept. Certain things should be kept. And those things were not kept to destroy your character, but they kept a closed lip when they wanted to protect their character. Trust. Because if you're my friend, let alone a spouse, a parent, a family member, you should be my friend no matter what. Right, wrong, or indifferent. We gonna talk about those things. But those things, and I got friends right now to this day, when I tell you have done me wrong, I mean, lent them money, helped them raise their children, giving them my credit card, written card, I mean, have done me dirty. And we're no longer friends anymore. And to this day, there are secrets that I have not opened up my mouth and told. Because my trust go beyond the situation. And that's when you know that you're really a trustworthy person. Can you still trust me even when we are at odds? That right there. That's the question. Even when we are at odds, can I still trust you to be as solid as you said you were? That's the great question. Let's look at some things. Woo! My brother George says loyalty has an expiration date. Man, if that ain't the truth right there. If that ain't the truth, I'm loyal to you when I'm connected to you. Let me give y'all an example. Most of y'all know that, I'm a pastor. Some of you guys may not, I don't know how by now, but there have been ministries that I have been connected to that I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm no longer connected to that ministry, but watch this. Because of my loyalty, first off to God, and then my loyalty to that pastor, just because I'm not connected to the ministry anymore, there's still a loyalty that I won't put my mouth on it. Man, we don't have that no more. I make it a point that no matter what I experience during my divorce process, none of you can say that I've ever got on social media and negatively put my mouth on my ex-wife. First and foremost, she's still the mother of my children. And secondly, there's a loyalty on the inside of me that whatever your deficiencies, insecurities, downfalls, or whatever, guess where it's going to stay? In that marriage. And even if the marriage is broken, it's going to stay right there. Because guess what? You still got to be a wife to somebody else. You still got to be a mother to our children. You still got to be a public figure or whatever you're doing. There still should be a level of protection, right? We don't have that no more. We listen. Trust and loyalty that's why I roll by myself. Y'all don't never see me rolling with nobody. Y'all don't never see me. I'm rolling by myself. Cause whatever I do, I'm gonna go down by myself. I used to have friends. Man, listen. A cluster of friends that I grew up with. Preachers that folk that I thought was my friend. You come to find out, George said it best. It's an expiration date on the loyalty. Cause you find out you ain't in certain circles, or you're not in the group chat with everybody else. You're not invited to be a part of certain things. And I've learned early on, sometimes solo is the best way to go. I used to tell, oh yeah, man, this, that, and the third. Oh, I'm going through. You ain't getting nothing out of me. How you doing, Doc? Oh, I'm good. I can be down. I can be depressed. I can be struggling. I can be. When you see me, I'm good. You ain't getting nothing out of me because there's no sense of loyalty anymore. There's no sense of loyalty anymore. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. Let's see. Let's get into some comments. That's right. It should be to the end. I see a brother right now. Right now. He's online, and I got to give him a shout out. He's been doing this thing, and I know he want to put me in the headlock because we haven't talked. But what I love is we don't even have to talk often to know that we're there for each other. But, man, Mario Hauser, good guy. Good guy. Beautiful wife, beautiful family, excellent, dope pastor. They're doing great things, right? Didn't know me from a can of paint. Knew what I was going through. We've had conversations, prayed together. Listen to me. Not one thing I ever shared with him, I ain't heard it from nobody else. Ain't heard it. I had a call the other day, and I'm not gonna put him out there. I ain't gonna, blast him. It's not negative, but I believe loyalty and trust, certain things should stay between certain people. I had a call literally yesterday. We spent over 2 hours on the phone. And the person said to me, he said, I was convicted. He said, and I owe you an apology. I said, for what? He said, man, I judged you off of what was said to me and off of a short conversation from the source. And I judged your character. He said, and man, God dealt with me, and every time there would be a conversation, my spirit was just not right. He said, until I got to know you for myself. Until I got to come over and experience church with you and all, have conversations. He said, and your transparency. He said, man, you were so you didn't leave out nothing. You talked about your flaws and your mistakes. He says, but when I talk to other people, when I talk to the other sort, he said, there was never it was always one-sided. He said, and the Lord convicted me, and he said, I just have to apologize to you man to man, because the person, y'all listen to this. The person you was painted as is not the person I know you to be. And that's big. That's big because I believe when you are loyal in whatever situation, God got a way of kind of hiding you and protecting you. He do. He got a way of just kind of letting you know, like, you ain't got to worry. Everything going to be all right. Let's get into some comments. That's a big fact. Yeah, let's see. Elevate the source. I like that. So trust goes so far. I had some friends who after I got divorced kind of reached out to me. And I think that and it's kind of funny because in a way it upset me, because I felt like if you really knew my character, you wouldn't even have to have this conversation with me. There's just certain things you wouldn't even have to call me on, right? So I had a few friends who reached out to me after I got a divorce. And of course they offered their condolences. I died. But no, they are, they were just really, trying to console. And I always thought it was funny because by the end of the conversation, the real conversation wasn't really to check up on me, right? The real conversation was to kind of ensure that because my marriage failed, I wouldn't break the code of brotherhood. And I'm just like, if you really knew me, you would know that for me, loyalty and trust goes for so long, right? We just don't have that no more. Why? Let's get in the comments. I done talked enough. I wanna talk. Jessica says, what was your response? My response to what? I kind of talked about a lot here. So my response to what? I see my brother Anthony Brown on here. Anthony, get ready. You're going to be coming on the podcast real soon, and we gonna clown. Do you hear me? Y'all think I'm a clown? I'm bringing Anthony on, and within the next month or so, we about to clown. All right, but come on, let's talk. Have you been there? Have you been there? Can you relate? Do you have issues with trusting people? Maybe you saw your parents go through a divorce. Maybe you've been through some things and you just don't trust. Come on, let's talk. Come on, talk to me, y'all. Let's talk. Have you been there? If you've been there, just say I've been there. Let's see. When the man said that you weren't the man he thought you were, here was my response. Here was my response. I had a few responses, Jessica. So Jessica asked a question in the comments and said, what was my response after the man and I had the conversation and he said, you're not who you were painted to be. You're not this person. You know what I'm saying? I judged you off of, what was said or off of whatever flaw or mistake you made or whatever the case may be. And she said, what was your response to that? I had a few responses, right? My first response was, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Because in my prayer, and we're being transparent, right? I'm not out to make nobody look bad or whatever the case may be. But many people have seen many posts and comments concerning my character, my integrity, me being a father. Oh, I can't tell you how many people have come to me and, I've been bashed as not being a good father. And, they, reminded her of, comments she made about me being a great father. And, she's laughed at them. And, oh, did I say, my prayer was, God, I don't care what people say when they, now hear me, when they say, I don't care what nobody say. It's a lie. We do. That is one of the biggest lies that we tell out of our mouth. I don't care what nobody think of me. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. To an extent, we all care about the perception that people have of us. We all care. We do. There is an ounce of you somewhere that cares about what people think of you. And people are so quick. I don't care what nobody think. I don't care. But you do. So my prayer was, God, you vindicate on my behalf. The Lord had told me, Jessica, and all of you, be quiet. Be still. I'm going to fight for you. Say nothing. Say nothing. I will do the fighting. And I'll be honest with you. I'm just like, what is going on? Like, why is all these people, why me? Why am I being scandalized? And the natural reaction is to clap back. Let me say this. Let me show them this. Let me tell them this. And the Lord said, nope. You be quiet and I'll fight for you. And I remember asking her one day, I said, you always seem to fly by. This is after the divorce. Fly by the radar. The Lord just always have this grace on you that you're not caught. You're not exposed. You're not. And she kind of laughed and told me, like, basically, take that up with God. Oh, well. And the Lord told me, he said, you be quiet. I'll vindicate for you. I will vindicate for you. So my first response was, thank you, Lord, that you really have. I see that you're now vindicating for me. People, y'all listen, I have friends that I introduced my ex-wife to that I was friends with years, 15 years before we were. Stop communicating with me. Stop talking. Invite her to things and didn't invite me. So when those people started to come back around, there's one who recently called me like, hey man, we need to go out. We need to talk. I want to get our friendship back. I need to apologize to you for certain things. I'm seeing things. God is revealing some things, and we want to apologize. So that was my first response. And then my second response was I kind of laughed a little bit because I said, sometimes we feel like it takes forever. But it comes at the right time. Because truly in my prayer time, I was just saying, God, why do I feel empty? Why do I feel bad? I wasn't the one. I wasn't bad mouthing. I wasn't scandalizing. And believe me, I could if I wanted to. There's things that I could say to diminish characters. Listen, I got things that I could really say. But what's the point behind it? God is not edified and glorified behind it. It's only going to make me look bad. So I kind of laughed and I said, okay. And then the last emotion, so I thank God I laughed. And then the last emotion is I cried. What you cry for? What you cry for? Why you crying? You still love it? You still want it? No, it's none of that. None of that, what people think. I cried simply because every time I doubt God, he always shows me, don't doubt him, that when you can't trust nobody else, trust me. And that was the lesson that I had to learn. I had to learn the lesson of you don't need the likes of people. You don't have to post on Facebook for likes. You don't have to post on TikToks for views. You don't trust me. Trust in him. That's scripture. Now I'm still a pastor. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart. Lean not to thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him. He'll direct your path. So I had to trust him. I had not to lean to my understanding because I didn't understand why am I being scandalized? I was not as bad as I'm being painted to be. Why me? Right? Trust in the Lord with all thy heart. Lean not to thy own understanding. In all thy ways, God, you handle this. God ain't going to say nothing. You deal with it. And he began to tell me, this is how you do this. This is how you go about. Be quiet. Don't say nothing. Love your children. Nope. I stopped posting on social media for a long time. Have my children. I have my children 75% of the time. Maybe even more, but I'm going to be generous. 75% of the time, those who know me, labor with me, serve in my church, in my family, know 75% of the time, I got my children. But I'm still on child support. Never missed a child support payment, even when I wasn't on child support. But the courts was told I don't pay nothing and contribute to my children. All time. Man, listen. And the Lord told me, shh, be quiet. Don't Don't scandal. Don't. This ain't the time for that. He said, even in your weakness, my strength is made perfect. Even in your weakness, I'm going to show myself strong. I'm going to show myself strong. Ronnie says 2 wrongs don't make it right. 2 wrongs do not make it right. But I'm going to tell you, sometimes, here go the Negro in me. Sometimes it feel good just to clap back. Every now and then. Come on, y'all, don't lie. Now, yeah, I'm the pastor, but don't lie. Every now and then, now, it do feel good to clap back. It do. It do. But what? It ain't worth it. It's not worth it, y'all. Honestly, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. But sometimes it do feel good to clap back. It do. It do feel good to clap back. All right, let me go back and read some comments. G Spitter says, somebody must have told him you be on the pulpit talking about her fights. That right, cuz, hey, hey, you bet, hey. That's all I got to say. Hey, but seriously, he was just like, I owe you an apology. And the crazy thing is, him and so many other people, male and female, was just like, last year and a half, you was just this dirty dog. We just did like, but and like I tell them, in any marriage, I don't care who you are, in any marriage that does not last, it's never one-sided. That's just the truth. It's never one-sided. In any friendship that don't last, here's what gets me about friendships, and don't even get me on that, because, boy, I can destroy a whole bunch of friendships tonight. But I ain't that type of person. But even in friendships, man, friends talk about each other. They just do. Friends talk about each other. Friends talk. So when one be like, she wasn't a good friend, well, at some point, you weren't a good friend either. It just happened. It happens like that. It happens like that. Ronnie says, know that a lie only is some kids have. Yeah, we know that. I do what I do as a father because I love my babies. And listen, don't come for my children. Don't come for my children. I'm telling you, don't come for my children. Come for me. Not my children. Not my children. Anthony says, son ain't so, Doc. The people done tried to scandalize your name and character. Oh yeah. Listen, big time. But God, y'all. But God have always avenged on my behalf. God have always avenged on my behalf. All right, let's see. Anthony says, the clapback may feel good at the moment, but it's not worth it. It takes up too much. Man, listen. Most of the time, and this is the God honest truth, most of the time I don't clap back to certain things. It just take up too much energy. And then the one thing about, I think the one reason why a lot of times people are not trusting is because people don't take accountability. Oh, that's going to be one of the next topics, accountability. We do not want to be accountable. I cannot stand a person that cannot stand square-footed, 10 toes down, chin up, shoulders out, and say, I messed up. I dropped the ball on that. They always got to get defensive. Always got to turn the narrative. Always, like, are you kidding me? You mean to tell me you can't take accountability for nothing? Or then they hit you with this. I don't have to respond to that because you don't want to take accountability. I'm not entertaining that. You don't want to take responsibility. You don't want to take accountability. Or they just don't, text you back because you don't want to take accountability. And most of the time, people get silent when you have receipts. Oh, church. We don't want to talk about receipts, church. We don't want to do it. Let's see. They'd rather go to hell with gasoline draws. For sure. For sure. And I just don't understand it. So look, let me let y'all into my world a little bit and why I picked this topic after being away for so long. So most of you guys don't know, but I celebrated a birthday. I am another year old. The Lord have blessed me, y'all. He have blessed me. I am 35. I'm still a young buck. Still got that good stamina, and I can run. All that good stuff. December I turned 35, but in December I actually caught COVID. In and out the hospital. Was on a albuterol inhaler. Had to take breathing treatments. It was really, really bad. I left work not feeling well. Came to my office because my office was the nearest place. And Daryl, if you're still watching, this is why my brother, Daryl is my brother, stays in D.C., my pastor's son, real guy. If you it don't get no realer, no raw than Daryl Brown. But he had invited us to come out and bring in a new year in Aruba, and we were going to go, and I got sick. And I mean, when I say got sick, I thought I was going to die. I came down to my office. It was the closest place for me, and literally I laid down about 11:30. I didn't wake up until almost 4 in the afternoon. I was out of it. I was completely out of it. Went to the hospital, had COVID, and I literally quarantined the entire time in my office. Thank God for my family, my friends, my church members, my dad going to get my medicine, bringing it down here, and just people just, what do you need, Pastor? What you need? What? I mean, just really truly there and concerned and dropping things off, and they just don't know what it meant to have somebody, to take care of you and look after you. And I'll never forget. It was literally a Thursday evening. I really thought I was about to die. I was laying on my couch. I woke up about close to 5 a.m. Couldn't breathe. The inhaler wasn't working. I was coughing so much. It felt like I could taste chlorine. Tried to get up and make it to the bathroom, and I literally had to crawl my way from my office into my trustee's office to push the door open to get some air. And I remember laying on my couch. I looked up at this frame that I have my grandmother's obituary in. And I looked over at my pastor's robe that's hanging up. And I remember saying to God, Lord, I hope I did the best I could while I was here. And I prayed. I said, Lord, I didn't do everything right, but I tried to be the best that I could be. Went on to my bank, made sure everything was in order, PODs, and I thought I was gone. I laid back down, and I, honest to God, didn't think I was going to wake back up. It affected me, my lungs. I was out of the pulpit for some time. Couldn't preach. My church will tell you I would get in the pulpit and I would be coughing. I could barely talk. Couldn't breathe. Couldn't breathe. Tried to call my children. Couldn't reach them. Would have to call their mom and ask, could you please have my kids call me? Was never asked, what hospital are you in? Do you want me to bring the children? I'm praying for you. Nothing. Nothing. When expressed, we have children. I'm sick. These people are talking about the condition that I'm in and being put on ventilators. So you show no type of concern. Never got a response back. Nothing. I said, Lord, I will not let anything distract my focus. You said that I have the power to lay hands on myself and speak healing. The members of Harvest Baptist Church will tell you, I stood in the pulpit. I got my oil. I anointed my head, my throat, my chest, and my feet in front of the entire congregation with my members, my ministers surrounding me. And I began to speak life back into myself. You shall be healed. You will not die. You will get your voice back. You will get your strength back. You will. And y'all, look at me now. I'm here. I made it. So the reason why I was out for so long is because I was recovering. I was supposed to be with Daryl. Originally I was supposed to be in Jamaica. And I told Daryl it was my birthday. He said, man, y'all come down here with me and Chris, and was sending me stuff, and I got sick. But I'm here. The road to recovery was hard. Lost some weight behind it. Didn't preach for a long time, but I made it. And the reason I wanted to start with trust is not because of a relationship thing, but it was my way of opening up to tell all of you who are watching me tonight. In whatever state you find yourself in, trust God. Trust God. He's the only one that for sure won't let you down. Trust God. And then maybe, he'll sing in one or two people you can trust. But meanwhile, until then, I don't trust nobody. All right. That's it. Y'all not about to get me crying. All right. Let's see. I'm going to read some more comments. And then we getting out of here. I'm so glad to see y'all. I'm so glad to see y'all on here. Jackson and Jocelyn, y'all put this phone down and y'all better go to bed. Y'all should not be watching this podcast. I hope. God willing. Okay, maybe that. Okay. Yeah, my brother, Rodney Thornton. I met him at his grandfather's service. Awesome preacher. I ain't been ignoring you, man. I've been going through, but one thing and two for sure, what I've learned is that you have to build up a strength. And you got to get a mindset. Everybody ain't got to know you going through. The Lord knows. You got to speak life. I'm all right. I'm going to be all right. So I ain't been ignored. I'm just now kind of getting back to a normal place and everything. So that's where we are. Let's see. One more comment here. For sure, Brody. My brother Cordero say, just hearing what you went through, it seemed like your intimacy with God grew. If it did nothing else, it drawed me closer to Him. I'm going through church, musician. Oh, y'all, I'm having a time. But when I tell you, I trust God. I trust God. So that's it. That's all I got for y'all tonight. That was our podcast on trust. We're going to talk about accountability, some other stuff. Anthony, I'm bringing you on here. Rod, if you going to be in town one day, I'm going to bring you on here, man, and we going to talk. But let's try to be a little more trusting if we can. Let's try to find someone. It don't matter, in your family, on your job. Let's try to build trust within ourselves, because the truth of the matter is we all need somebody. We need somebody on this journey. Yes, we have Christ, but we all need somebody on this journey. So that's all I got for y'all. All right, y'all know what it is, don't y'all? It's Friday. I'm feeling good. It's date night. It's date night. I'm about to get out of here. I feel good. I'm looking kind of good. Got my, I'm all right. I ain't making no noise, as they say. You know what I'm saying? I ain't making no noise. But I love y'all. I thank you for tuning in. And as I say on Sunday mornings, I'll see you next week. Peace to the fam, y'all.